everybody. It's me, Shannon LaBruyere. I am live and loving it tonight. Thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule to spend a half hour or so with me. Hi, Michelle. Glad you're jumping on. You guys, this has been such a fantastic week of learning and growing. I hope that you have experienced the same thing. It is so exciting to see you guys jumping on, leaning in, seeing so much great engagement in the Sunday Night Live arena and also in the live stream leadership arena. I'm honored and blown away. So thank you so much. And you are here just in time to hear a very great announcement. I am so excited. Yay! I really am. I am so tickled because we have just created a Sunday Night Live with Shannon LaBruyere group. So if you enjoy Sunday Night Live and you wish you had an opportunity to be able to have good conversations about some of the topics that we talk about here on Sunday Night Live, the place for you to connect is in the Sunday Night Live with Shannon LaBruyere group. It's free. You are welcome to join. It is a private group just so that there's not spammers or whatever they call those people who go around on Facebook and join a million groups and try to sell you things. You know, we don't want that. So it's been created in a way that if you are enjoying Sunday Night Live, all you have to do is follow the link. I'm going to post it after our session in the comments. Probably it'll be on my pages or on my profile page as well, and it'll also be in Thrive and Change. You'll be able to find it. Join that group. It is going to ask just a couple of questions. One of them will be, what would you like future topics on Sunday Night Live to be? Oh, I'm glad you're enjoying the thought of this. Yay! I love that support. So good. So good to see you, and welcome those of you who have never been on a Sunday Night Live. This is a great night for you to start learning to thrive in change. And one of the ways that we've created for you to do that is to join the Sunday Night Live with Shannon LaBruyere Facebook group. And just wait, there's more. How do they do on TV? But wait, there's more. But wait, there's more. When you join the Sunday Night Live with Shannon LaBruyere Facebook group, right there, you're going to find a free gift from me. It is a screensaver that features one of the Thrive and Change principles that everything I do here on Sunday Night Live is built around. And some of you may know those principles. They are bring the honor, which means no matter how dishonorable the situation is that we find ourselves in, no matter how dishonorable the other people may be behaving in the midst of the situations we're in, we can navigate that change with honor when we bring the honor with us. Thanks to all of you who are jumping on. I'm so glad you're with us tonight for this exciting announcement. All right, so be sure to join the Sunday Night Live with Shannon LaBruyere group, and then you can just download it or you can take a screenshot of this week's principle, this week's Thrive principle. And this week, the principle we're talking about is the principle, trust the process. So we've got bring the honor, respect the now, it is what it is. Acknowledging that allows us to move on, right? Trust the process. There's a process to almost any change that we're going through, and if we familiarize ourselves with it, we take away some of the pain. And then the last principle is find the beauty. So this week, we are going to lean in and learn about the Thrive principle, trust the process. So are you ready? Yay! I hope you're excited about the group because I really am. Feel free to join. Feel free to invite your friends. We'll always post these videos in there so that they're easy to find. And that group can be a great resource for all of us to just connect. I'm really looking forward to doing some lives throughout the week in there, just to touch base and say, hey, how are we implementing what we're learning, folks? Because this is the truth about learning, and this fits in a lot with my topic that I'm going to talk about. The truth about learning is this: if we aren't intentionally implementing it, it's not really doing us a lot of good. So that group is there so you can get the most out of the Sunday Night Live experience, and you can become a ninja at thriving in change. That's my heart. So with that, let's get started. All right, so I promised on my little tease in Facebook that I was going to tell you about a mistake I made, and I've actually made a few mistakes. So please don't keep track of them all, but I am committed to sharing my flaws, my foibles, my failures with you, because if you can learn from my mistakes, that's one less mistake you have to make for you to be thriving and being successful. So listen and learn, my friends. And this is one of the mistakes that I discovered I've been making over the last couple of weeks, and I think it's really relevant tonight. This is what it is. I got really good at knowing, and I stopped growing. I'm going to say that again. I got really involved in knowing. And I got so involved in knowing things that I forgot the other key piece, which is I have to be growing as well. So this is something you may not know about me, so I'm just going to confess it right now. I really feel like that my calling was to sit around ancient Greece and drink whatever delicious beverages they had in the public forum and talk about ideas all day long and never get up and do anything. I just want to talk about ideas because I am a huge fan of ideas. You know how much I love principles, right? So I love learning new things. I love learning new facts. I love learning new principles and ways of looking at things. I'm totally into it. But this is where my mistake kicks in. This is where my challenge is, if you will. I can get very caught up in learning new things, and all of this really great information is just pouring in. Oh, yeah, this is great. Oh, I love that. I want to read that book. I never heard of that. Tell me more. I want to learn so much about the things I'm passionate about, which would be communication, leadership, personal integrity, and growth. I'm passionate about those things. So I read a lot of books, listen to a lot of books on audio. I read a lot of blogs. I'm just always knowing things. And frankly, I love being able to come on a broadcast like we're doing tonight and feel like I know what I'm talking about. But this is the problem. If I'm not applying any of that, if I'm not actually implementing any of it, if I'm not stretching myself to actually take action on what I'm learning, I'm doing the people I serve a disservice, and I'm doing me a disservice. It's the difference between being a river and a reservoir. A reservoir just takes things in. How many of you have felt like that sometimes, that you just were taking things in, but you didn't have an outlet to share them? It is critical. It is crucial for us as we learn the principles we're talking about here, as we learn those deep dive leadership topics that we talk about in live stream leadership, and some of you have just been so great leaning in and really taking in this information and giving it thought. The key, though, is to not just take it in, and I'm loving those hearts. Yes, I'm glad you're hearing me. The key is not to just take it in like a reservoir, because reservoirs get stagnant. They're just sitting there, and they're just being held in reserve. And if we are just a reservoir for information that we hold in reserve, pretty soon we get bogged down And that's what happened to me over the last couple of weeks. I have been feeling this decrease of momentum, if you will. And momentum is a leader's best friend. It is a person's best friend. For those of us who want to thrive, we can all embrace this idea that momentum helps us to go farther, faster than we could have done just taking a step-by-step slog. So momentum's great. And as a person who values momentum, for me to feel myself going downhill, it got my attention when I realized one morning that I was not getting up, and I get up early. I'm an early riser. I wasn't getting up. I wasn't doing my normal habits that keep me fresh. And I took some time out and started reflecting on it. And this is what I discovered. As much as I love sharing on Sunday Night Live, as much as I love that leadership community and Livestream leadership and love pouring into them, I spoke at church today, and I love that. I love equipping people with great principles that allow them to thrive. I was focusing so much on preparing to share, learning good stuff so that I could spread it around, focusing so much on taking information in that I was not applying it. I was knowing, but I wasn't growing. And what I realized was I was getting a little bit lethargic. I was getting a little bit too know-it-all-y, if that's a phrase. I just made it a phrase. I was being too much of a know-it-all. You guys, I don't know everything. I love to sound like I know everything. It's a gift, I think. My husband does not think it's a gift, by the way. He does not think it's good that I sound like I know it all, even if I have no clue. I try to have integrity and bring you things that I know, but just knowing them up here isn't enough. And so for me to stretch myself, and I'll tell you where I realized I needed to stretch. I talk so much about how do we align our activities with our purpose, right? How do we know our goal and then align our activities with that so that every step we take, we're getting closer, not farther away. Folks, that is great advice. I know that. But you know what it takes? It takes some discomfort and stretching to actually do it. Today at church, I spoke about how important it is, how just so important it is to recognize that when fear comes at us, it's not a red flag always, especially when we're talking about our career and our dreams and pursuing being better. A lot of times when we're getting out of our comfort zone, we experience fear, and it comes right at us, and we can read that signal two ways. We can look at that fear and say, I need to stay put. I don't need to make a move. I need to just not worry about growing. It feels scary to do something different. And we can buckle down and let that fear convince us not to grow. And I was sort of doing that, sort of seeing these opportunities in my life for me to take a step out, take a risk, if you will. Risk building a relationship with team members that can help my business to be where I want it to be. And I was afraid, and I was holding back, and I was preparing to talk to a group of people and tell them, this is what we need to do. We need to look fear in the eyes. We need to understand that it's a part of growth, and we need to welcome it as an indicator that we're getting out of our comfort zone. And all of that is true. But if I am frozen in fear myself, and I don't do the hard work of growing, not just knowing, pretty soon all of my knowledge will be for nothing. I will be a tinkling bell. Ding, ding, ding. It'll have no impact. I caught myself. Thank God I caught myself. And I'm inviting you tonight, consider, are you knowing? Are you getting so engrossed in knowing that you are forgetting that you need to be growing as well? That you can't just take all that information in? You've got to share it. I'm so tickled because one of the members of Livestream Leadership has been sharing this week about how excited she is that she's learning how to be a peacemaker, not a peacekeeper. And we took a deep dive in that in Livestream Leadership. She's so excited about it. She is telling others. And yes, kudos to you, Laura. Thank goodness you aren't just being a reservoir. learning things that feel good and sound good to you, but you're actually growing, getting out of your comfort zone, doing what we talked about that feels uncomfortable, and spreading the word. So I didn't have as much integrity about my knowing as I wanted to have. I felt myself becoming this sluggish reservoir. Make sure, no matter what you're learning, you don't have to take every principle that we talk about. And tonight, our focus is on this idea of growing and knowing. And that's part of this healthy improvement process. That's why tonight's principle is trust the process. Because if we will trust that process of learning something new, growing in our intellect, knowing how to do something, knowing a new principle or a new application for a principle or a new tool, if we will not just know it, but get ourselves in the habit of growing in it, applying it. We don't have to apply everything we hear. You can read an entire book, and believe me, I read a lot of them, and I don't do every last thing that's in the book, even if it's really good. It's just not, it's too much. But I can't get bogged down and think just because I can't do it all, that I can't do any of it. And so my commitment to me, and I want to invite you to make a commitment to you. My commitment is that I will not just know things, but I will also make sure that I'm growing in those things, because that's where our true impact lies. This is the thing. When you implement that process of knowing something, learning it, practicing it so you know it inside and out, you're going to see your resilience skyrocket. Your ability to thrive in the midst of change, the change you want, the change you don't, is going to skyrocket because you have been exercising that principle. And so it's very, very important. Don't just know things, but grow in those things. Don't just be addicted to knowing. Get just as addicted to growing, applying what you've learned. I am applying what I've learned this week because I'm stretching outside of my comfort zone. I'm doing some new things in my business that I've never done. I would love to know, what are you doing this week that allows you to implement some of the things you've learned over the last 7 days? And I love it when I see your support and that you're hearing me. So keep those emojis going. I love to know that you're hearing what I have to say, that it's connecting, that you're not just knowing it, but you're hearing it down in your heart. So thank you for sharing it. I would love to know, and I'm inviting you, if you popped on in the middle of our session, I'm inviting you to go and join the new group, Sunday Night Live with Shannon LaBruyere. That is going to be the place where you're going to see me post some questions for you to keep you connected with what we've learned. You'll be able to download a free gift, which is this week. It is the screensaver that says trust the process, because this week I want us all, including me, to remember to trust the process. And the process we're talking about tonight is, don't just know it, you got to grow it. You've got to exercise it in yourself, and you've got to share it with others. Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up if it does. I hope it does. And I am very much looking forward to hearing what you're doing with it. Oh, Missy already joined. Yay, Missy. And Shay said the message is coming across loud and clear, and lots of hearts. I'm so glad. Welcome, welcome, welcome to those of you who are just jumping on. So the other mistake that I have made, and this one is also trusting the process, understanding that our habits are what create our lives, right? So my first mistake was spending too much time being a know-it-all and not enough time being a grow-it-all, not applying what I was learning in myself. And that took me out of integrity. I can't speak to things that I'm not willing to do. So that was a huge mistake for me. I fell down. You can learn from my mistakes. The second mistake that I made was I varied from my morning process. I have a morning process, you guys, and my morning process is that I wake up very early and I do not check Facebook and I do not check my email. I go and drink a glass of water, a big one, while my coffee is brewing. I get my cup of coffee and I sit down in my chair with Zippy the cat and my iPad and my Apple Pencil and my devotional and my books that I'm reading, and I sit and I think and I allow myself to have space and room. And because I start my day like that, I get great ideas. I feel just the power and energy just surge when I'm faithful to that habit. This past week, I veered from that habit. I slept in more. I woke up, and instead of getting out of bed and starting my routine, I pulled my phone over to check what time it was and thought, I'll just check Facebook. And you guys know what happened. 45 minutes later, I'm rounding up Facebook, right? I'm finishing it up. 45 minutes gone. Then, well, I'm already on my phone. I might as well pull my email. And now all that beautiful time, the margin space that I need to be able to be my best for others, to have creativity and passion and to have focus for my week, I deprived myself of it because I veered from my habit. What habit do you have that keeps you on track? Don't step away from it. And if you have, I invite you to start with me tomorrow morning to jump back into that process that we know works. You are invited. Oh, I love those. Yes, I know. Shannon, no, say you didn't do it. Wow. Awesome. All right, you guys, I am so glad you jumped on. You have become such a great part of my life. Every Sunday night, meeting you like this, being able to share with you my ups and my downs, hopefully, prayerfully, you're taking some of this, knowing it and growing with it. Hopefully you'll stay true to your habits so that you don't fall into the slump like I did and then have to drag yourself out. Some of you are asking how to join the Sunday Night Live with Shannon LaBruyere group. Well, one way you could do it, if you can spell my name, is to search for Sunday Night Live with Shannon LaBruyere, and you will see the group and you'll be able to join. It'll be awesome. We'll also post a link that you can go to, or actually what I'll do, I'm going to send an invitation to you guys who chimed in tonight. So if you want me to send you an invite, I can do that. Just put it in the comments. Say, me, and put an exclamation point, and I'll know you want me to send you an invite. That'll make it super easy for you to join. I am very, very tickled to have this new group starting. I'm really tickled to be able to share every week a Thrive and Change principle that is going to help you to thrive and help me to thrive. And I'm really excited to see where this takes us, because when we join together with like-minded people, and we really lean in to grow and to hold each other accountable and to support each other, amazing things happen. So I'm seeing some new people, and I'm so glad. I can't wait. After the broadcast, I'm going to go in and type a few highs and greet you. I'm just tickled that you're here. Thank you so much for trusting me to share with you for a half hour every Sunday. It's my pleasure to do it. One other thing that I want to let you all know is the January Livestream Leadership Group just came to a close. It was amazing. I'm not going to lie, it was the best one yet. I really enjoyed the conversation we've had. And if you love Sunday Night Live and you find yourself wishing that you had a little more time to explore some of the topics, and maybe you wish that you had a little bit of coaching to go along with that so that you could actually implement those principles, and discussion with other people who bring their wisdom to that topic, I've got good news for you. Livestream Leadership is open again. And what I'm encouraging you to do is, and I'll put this link right here in the comments so you'll be able to find it in this feed. but it's also available on my Thrive and Change page. What I would love for you to do is to sign up and commit to growing yourself for 3 months. It's 3 Saturday mornings a month. It's live, and you get to interact live with other people. You only see me. You guys get to stay in the background and wear your yoga pants and your tank tops and drink coffee, however you do on Saturday mornings. It is a great way to get started on a wonderful week, but also a great way if you crave a little bit more interaction and a lot more information. Livestream Leadership is the place you want to be. So I'm going to encourage you, follow that link, find out just how easy it is to get involved in a group of people who are 100% passionate and committed to growing as leaders, leading themselves and others. You won't be sorry. And also, you know what? Everybody needs a plan for growth. And I'm telling you, Livestream Leadership is a great way to get your plan knocked out. You always know that you're going to have something that challenges you, that stretches you, and wisdom from others that allow you to really get the most from your efforts to grow and impact your world. So with that, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for hanging with me, for being with me even when I'm confessing my flaws, and there'll be more in the future. Have no fear. I've got more. I want to come to you in integrity every week that I'm here. So thank you. And thank you for holding me accountable to it. Yes. Mwah. And with that, I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you for being here. I can't wait to see you in the Sunday Night Live with Shannon LaVriere group. Make sure you download your screensaver so it reminds you this week to trust the process. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Mwah. Goodbye.